20 seconds.
We can't ever give that back.
No. Shot. They're gonna play perfect.
Team has ever recovered from losing the first 3 matches to win. It was so important for Tyler Starr to get that point, and now that he has, the Americans turn to their 2 biggest guns in the hope of drawing level. Rivals in that US Open final in Atlantic City just a few months ago, but very much on the same side here as they take on 2 of Europe's finest, looking to make it 2-all on this opening night.
Well, we might have to wait a minute here, Michael, because the smoke machines are not switching off. Just look at the state of this. Look at this. We can't switch them off.
Wow.
I've heard of rain stops play, but I've never seen anything like this.
Well, I think they're getting it under control now. Well, we're only on to match 4, Carl, and we've seen a bit of everything in this Mosconi Cup already. I think it might be judicious to leave the smoke machine off for a little while now. Big moment this.
Oh, wow. Look at this.
Oh, that is sensational. And just when that little bit of hope was being offered to the American fans, look what Sanchez Ruiz has pulled out here.
That is real naughty.
And of course, if the European pair win this, it means that Europe will win the session. It will be the 8th Mosconi Cup session in a row they've won. The Americans haven't prevailed in any session
Nice shot,
since 2 years ago to the day. And it would mean the last match of the night will be so important because there's only ever been one instance where a team has been 3 points behind after the first day of a Mosconi Cup and ended up winning it. And that would be the fate that would face the Americans if they lose this one. And then they were to lose the last of the night as well. If they can get back to only 1 behind, assuming they lose this, which looks likely now, there have been plenty of instances of teams being just a little bit behind after the first day and turning it round. So that last match of the night is going to be, in many ways, even bigger than it would have been if they'd been level at 2-all. Time looks to be running out now on Gorst and Van Boning. Sanchez Ruiz with what he hopes is his last shot of the match. Looking to set Kachi up with the straightforward finish. It looks a done deal now. Well, we'll go back to rack 4, won't we? And Gorst missed that bank. It had looked for a while as though it's going to be 2-all. Europe went 4-1 in front. The Americans did get a rack back. Kachi and Sanchez Ruiz have raced through this one. And it's the rack which has clinched victory for them. Their first time playing together in a Mosconi Cup doubles. And they've won. They've beaten the 2 biggest guns on the American team by a relatively comfortable margin in the end, 5 racks to 2. So Europe are 2 points ahead again. They now lead the United States 3-1. And we have got a very big finish to the night coming up now. Kachi will be back out there for the last singles of the night against the American captain, Skylar Woodward, who is now really going to have to lead by example to prevent his team falling a long way behind at the end of this first day.
Yeah, now this ball came down and got just funny. He can't go forward because of the 9, and he's not straight enough to draw on a line, so he's got to kind of move it. This gets over to the rail, which it may. This could get awkward, and that's what I mean. It's the type of Mosconi, you're going to try and play great position, but you got to be ready to make some tough balls because everyone's going to get out of line. That's just how the table's playing.
No exaggeration, this is one of the most critical shots of the entire session for me.
I agree. He may play it to the opposite corner just because the way he's cueing, and he can move the ball a little easier. So if you're looking at the screen, he's going to your top right corner pocket. Probably with a high ball.
Excellent from Woodward. Excellent. Woodward. So often in Mosconi Cup matches you see a shift in momentum. Rarely do you see two shifts though. That's what Kachi requires.
I think that cue ball is going to be gone maybe. Even if he's partially snookered here, I think he can go rail first and play the two. So the cue ball may have been it's starting to hook towards that side a little bit, so who knows. But if you remember the safety he went for, Kachi, and opened the door on that, tried to get him kind of cute behind the 6, I think it was, and everything's changed since then, it seems like. The scratch on the break, of course, a little unlucky there, but
all players have their strengths and their weaknesses. This kind of shot, if he does take it on, is definitely one of Woodward's strengths.
Well, you know, in American pool, we have different size tables, right? 7-footers. It's played on a lot in America, kind of like the English 8-ball tables. And anything that's tricky, he's just such a master. Those kind of different kind of tricky shots come up all the time on the 7-footers with not much space. And he just dominates on that table. He's probably the best player in the world maybe on that table. And all the little tricky shots he knows.
And the great thing about that was the side he applied to coax it in actually helped in terms of position on the 3.
Yeah, and we're not saying roadmap officially this week, I don't think, but these lay nice after that splendid 2-ball.
Yeah, this is country roads, take me home.
That's right. Minimal cue ball movement overall. That's how you really kind of determine the rack. Nothing near the rail.
When you're a playing captain, you need to lead by example. That's what Woodward is doing right here.
Yeah, he should come up for the side pocket here. Now he has lots of options. I wouldn't draw the ball much myself. Just a little bit maybe. Don't want it to get away somehow with the adrenaline going.
Remember, Woodward was 2-0 down. Kachi was playing nicely. What a turnaround. And after what happened last time, he will give this 9-ball all due care and attention.
Yeah, I think he'll smooth this one in a little bit.
Woodward leading by example, giving your family a little kiss and a cuddle. I'm sorry to interrupt. Oh, cheers everyone. Where's my one? Go on then, quick. A little sip. Savouring every moment, and I don't blame them. Cheers, Team USA! It's absolutely carnage, and that is why we love the Mosconi Cup. Skylar, come and have a quick chat before you can celebrate with your team. 2 racks down, and you managed to beat Kachi 5-2. What's going through your mind right now? What a relief that must be.
Yeah, you know, I mean, I'm down 2-0, but it's alternate break, and I won the third game, and I just had to use our sixth man here, the crowd. Get y'all into it. Let's go USA. Get loud. That we need y'all. Keep it going.
We saw some uncharacteristic errors from your opponent, and it just gave you an opportunity to really capitalize tonight, didn't it?
Yeah, for sure, and that's I mean, I'm trying to play my best, but I'm also trying, to use the crowd where there's so many people here and everybody's so loud. I'm just, I'm trying to keep everybody in it, and let's keep it going and keep the pressure on them.
They absolutely love you. They're going to USA, and I'm not surprised. It's only day one, and we've got day two to look forward to. What can we expect from you tomorrow?
Yeah, y'all just wait till you see day two.
Well, congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
Just looked at him yesterday, and then this morning he just seems very loose. I was a little shocked he banked at that, just because the position wasn't guaranteed. Did end up with the shot.
What a lift it could have given to the American cause if the narrative of the opening rack had been Shaw in with a chance of a break and run. Not managing to finish the job, and Van Boning then managing to make the 7 and clear from there, but it hasn't turned out that way. Jayson Shaw was the only European to play 2 racks in the team match yesterday. He won them both, the first rack and the last rack. And it's history repeating here, because Shaw has defeated Shane Van Boning in rack 1. The Europeans off to a good start.
Yeah, I don't think he goes for this. I think he brings it down on the end he's standing, leaving the cue ball near the 9. Oh, flipped it. And I say fluked it. Now that I look at it, he may have been playing the bank. Bit of a two-way.
Well, either way, it may well put pay to that long tactical rack we were contemplating a few moments ago. Here it is again. What an opportunity now for Van Boning. But this is what we didn't see last year early on, Jeremy. This resistance the Americans are putting up.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think just that taste of what looked like could be rough yesterday, big turnaround at the end, I think has done wonders for Team USA.
He did beat you.
That's the push out. So if you're new to 9-ball pool, a golden break basically is when you break off and the 9-ball finds its way into a pocket. The 9-ball found its way into that pocket. Creativity, excellence, shot making from Eagle Eye. That was absolutely on purpose, folks.
What a shot he has played there. I don't know what he was shouting into the crowd, but something was going on. Look, he's fired up.
You know what they say, Carl? Don't poke the bear. Don't try and clip the wings of the eagle.
Purposely played, went for the bank as well.
Well, in sport, it's all about two things. It's about visualization and execution. Shaw got both to perfection.
As well, kind of like SVB, gets a lot into the balls and probably gets a little more action on the 9 than most. But that's what happens. Then mistakes, then pool guys, they punish you.
Well, if there's been any moment worth another look so far, it's this one. Got a kick, came back off the rail, then got another kick, and that took it into the side pockets. So, we get to hear the sounds of Spandau Ballet for that moment of gold. And I know this much is true. The European pair were only about 10 minutes ago a couple of balls away from leading 4-1, getting first to the hill with a substantial lead. Now, it's the Americans on the hill.
Hill match of the Mosconi Cup.
Yeah, and it's a match that's deserved a deciding rack. Daring them to keep bringing it. It only brings out the best in them. Well, that's a first, someone taking an extension purely to milk the noise of the opposition crowd.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you.
Michael, he's going to come short side of the 8 down here to the bottom side, 2 rails. Looks like to settle just a bit. Yeah, that's going to make this a lot more difficult. Now he's going to have to travel with the cue ball. Yeah, he's going to have to come with one big shot here. Traveling with the cue ball to the right long rail. He's going to have to hit this with speed, makes the ball more missable. That's what Fedor Gorst does under the steam. And that's what the captain does.
One of the better moments for Gorst so far in this Mosconi. The skipper finishes the job. Woodward and Gorst take the first rack. In a match they've got to win to avoid trailing overnight. Tell me, Scott, about the spirit in the American camp, because to me it looks really, really good in terms of the bond and the camaraderie between these players.
Yeah, I don't think there could have been a better pick as far as a player captain than Skylar Woodward. He's got that perfect mix, right? He's a laid-back guy. He's an honest guy. The players love him. I just don't think it could be a better pick. But not only that, typically when you're a player captain, it's difficult to do everything and play well. He's played great so far these last 2 days.
And this crowd are certainly having a Friday afternoon party here at the Mosconi Cup.
We're halfway there.
Well, the crowd are singing "We're halfway there." That's mathematically not correct. It's first to 11.
Well, we knew Billy Thorpe would be getting involved.
ball pool where it's at. Come to one of these events and I can guarantee you'll have a rare old time.
Yeah, you'll never miss another one, I can assure you.
It's a Sunday fun day.
Shot, baby. Good shot. Game over. Make this. It's a game over to make this. Yeah.
Now, this is where the decision has been a little different at times. I like him leveling out here. On day one, he elevated on a similar shot. It's kind of stunning the ball.
Played with the composure you normally associate with Fedor Gorst. Remember, in this team match, Europe were 1-0, 2-1 and 3-2 ahead. But it seems as though the USA have come good when it matters. Fantastic Fedor. Gorst needed a lift, and that rack has provided it, supplying the winning rack in a 5-3 victory, as Europe's lead is trimmed to only 6-5 overall in this classic Mosconi Cup.
Oh, and sometimes he makes the 9 as well. Well, how this has all turned around. How long ago was it? 10 minutes, 15 minutes? That this place was lit up with the Americans going 3-1 in front. Then they find themselves level, and now, in an instant, with the golden break, Shaw and Kapchi have gone to the hill. That's cruel for the Americans, Carl.
It is cruel, but he breaks at full power in a 9-ball pool. Excellent catches. Shane Van Bonin make more golden breaks than anyone on the WNT. Here's another look. It was the blue 2-ball that knocked it into the side pocket. And overall, Michael, it's actually USA 1, Europe 1 in golden breaks.
Oh, it was a foul. Yeah, Marcel didn't even call it. That's amazing he called it on himself. That was a very obvious foul, Michael.
And with that, the chance may have passed by for Mickey Krause. Well, looks to be all over now. Gorst was absolutely sublime on the way to a 4-0 lead. Mickey Krause helped by those 2 moments of good fortune at the end of rack 8. Got it hill. He had his chance to clinch the Mosconi Cup on his debut. But it's gone now, and Fedor Gorst has finally given himself something to cheer about in this Mosconi Cup. A wonderful singles contest
Gorst goes the way of the champion of the world. Fedor Gorst defeats Mickey Krause.
This crowd have never been dispirited. Their noise levels maintained throughout the 4 days. Well, we know his intentions now. It's 3-9.
This is not easy. Don't think this is a hanger.
Nailed! Absolutely nailed by the...
The two's over the pocket. Oh. Well, Phil. Well.
As they say, the engraver might be tempted to start work on the trophy. With an E.
Yeah, he's got to play a good shot here, though, because you've got to make sure you come across the potting line at the red 3 on the left side.
Last year, David Al-Qaedi, his best pal, potted the winning 9-ball for Europe. Will it be Viva España again? These are the moments when sportsmen say they never feel more alive.
He's come a hair far here, just a little bit. I wonder if he's going to risk drawing into this ball. I don't think he can hold it to play the 4 down in the bottom right corner. Now he's looking to see if he can stun the cue ball out in the centre of the table. He may be forced to draw into this one, you know. That's what he did, and that is not bad.
It isn't, but cutting back into a semi-blind pocket in this kind of situation, ooh, it's ticklish.
It doesn't sit too bad, you know, meaning the cue ball, he can just stun it off the left-hand side rail, back out.
Ever closer to glory.
It's all about where the cue ball finishes after this next shot. What is the angle he's going to be faced with? That's pretty good, you know. That is pretty good. There's the captain,
who's done such a wonderful job.
He can go 2 rails for me, just above left centre. That'll track down nicely for the 8-ball. Here comes the cue ball. Where's it gonna finish? Well, can we get a look at the angle he's got? It's pretty straight. He can pinch a bit of this. He might end up having to shoot the 9-ball, Phil, in the left centre.
This is the biggest shot of his life, and he's been world champion. Get on that table, lads. You've come to Orlando, Florida. You faced a vociferous crowd who didn't give you a break, but you made the breaks. You made the clearances. You made the vital pots. And now, yet again, Europe are Mosconi Cup champions. 5 years on the trot. But I'll tell you what, Cole, in my opinion, considering the strength of this team and the improved strength of the USA, this is one of the great European achievements in the history of this tournament.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more, Phil. They were up against it. Many of the pool fans around the world leading up to this Mosconi Cup were calling it European B team. They were under a lot of pressure. They've come here, they've played against 6 Americans, really, the 6th man with the crowd. They put them under a lot of pressure, and they've held it together nicely.
Well, the B in this European B team is brilliant. Jayson Shaw led from the front. The star for me in terms of his performances was the man who potted the winning 9-ball, Francisco Sanchez-Ruiz. And here is a couple of numbers to underline European dominance. In the last 5 years, they've accumulated 55 points to America's 25. Wow. And now the overall series, 17 to Europe, 13 to the USA with one very famous draw. And of course, they go back and defend the title next year in their own backyard at Ali Pali, where the crowd will be totally on their side.